Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has been detained after landing in Moscow. The hearing to extend his detention, in fact, was held at a police station instead of a court. He has also been denied access to legal representation as per reports coming in. Navalny has termed this hearing as ultimate lawlessness, calling it a mockery of justice. His team has released this video. Take a look.
Сейчас Кира найдет нам классное место.
I have seen a lot of nonsense injustice. It seems that the grandfather in the bunker is so afraid of everything that they just defiantly ripped up and threw away the code of penal procedure. What is happening here is just impossible. This is ultimate lawlessness.
Meanwhile, the chorus abroad for Navalny's immediate release continues to grow. The European Union chief Ursula von der Leyen has joined the international condemnation over Navalny's detention. The UK's vaccines minister, Nadhim Zahawi, has said that the British government is very worried about the well-being and safety of the Kremlin critic.
We are very worried about the well-being and safety of Alexei Navalny. And of course, we have to make sure that the Russian government answers why a poison was used against Alexei Navalny in Russia. The foreign secretary has been leading, I think, the world in terms of, one, being robust on the Magnitsky Act, but also on holding countries that violate so flagrantly human rights. But you'll be hearing more from the foreign secretary on this.
The United States has also called out the decision to arrest Alexei Navalny. Meanwhile, the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, has dismissed the global condemnation. Lavrov has called it a bid by the Western countries to deflect attention from the crises taking place within their own territories.
We can see how the Western countries jumped at yesterday's news about Navalny's return to Russia. And we can see how gladly the comments, which replicate one another, are being done. They are doing so happily, as it looks like the Western politicians view this as an opportunity to draw attention away from the deepest crisis the liberal development model has found itself in.
Navalny is also facing potential new criminal charges, this under a probe that was launched last year by the Russian investigators, who say that he misappropriated over $4 million worth of donations. And earlier we spoke to expert Fred Vier from Moscow. Listen in to his perspectives.
If anybody thinks that Western pressure statements are going to make the slightest bit of difference, you haven't been paying attention the last several years. And in fact, the Russian foreign minister has given a statement saying they're all blowing this up out of proportion in order to distract from their own problems. And he's got his point to make. I mean, in the West, especially in the United States, they've got problems. No, I don't. It's just one of many things that are aggravating relations between Russia and the West, and nothing is going to get better anytime soon.
The arrest of the Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny could see him jailed for 3.5 years for allegedly flouting the terms of a suspended prison sentence. It may also reignite political pressure on the West to tighten sanctions on Russia. Navalny's decision, his detention, has prompted immediate condemnation from the European Union and calls for EU sanctions against Russia by Lithuania. In response to the arrest, the European Council President has urged the Russian authorities to free him. Writing on Twitter, and I'm quoting now, "The detainment of Alexei Navalny upon arrival in Moscow is unacceptable. I call on the Russian authorities to immediately release him." The European Union member Lithuania has meanwhile said that it will ask the European Union to swiftly impose new sanctions on Russia. Lithuanian Foreign Affairs Minister Gabrielius Landsbergis said in a statement, "We urge Russia to immediately release Navalny and to also take action against those responsible for the attempt on his life. He has said that neighboring EU countries Latvia and Estonia will also work towards imposition of restrictive measures against Russia. The statement said Navalny's arrest was in violation of human rights principles as set by the European Council. The German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas has also called for Russia's Alexei Navalny to be freed immediately. Maas said Alexei Navalny took the conscious decision to return to Russia because he sees it as his personal and political home, adding that it was totally incomprehensible that the Russian authorities arrested him on his arrival. The US joined the European Union in condemning the move, with State Secretary Mike Pompeo stating that Navalny is not the problem and that they demand his immediate and unconditional release. Mike Pompeo addressed the arrest via Twitter, saying confident political leaders do not fear competing voices, nor see the need to commit violence against or wrongfully detain political opponents. The UK joined the cause of Kremlin critics' release. Britain's Foreign Minister Dominic Raab has also condemned the appalling, quote-unquote, arrest of Russia's Navalny. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.